Welcome back to my YouTube channel, you guys. I'm Eden Strader, and today we are going to be talking about how to use flash and actually make it look natural. Flash photography gets such a bad reputation for being this like chintzy, outdated, JCPenney's-esque style of photography, when in reality, there are so many ways to use artificial light and flash and make it look incredibly natural and cohesive with your natural light wedding portfolio. Whether you shoot weddings or not, this is information you should absolutely know as a photographer, because a time is going to come where you no longer can rely on natural light. Okay, so let's get into it. There are two main different ways that you can start making your flash photography look more natural. We have on-camera flash and off-camera flash. So on-camera flash photography is what you're probably used to seeing. We have a speed light, it goes on our hot shoe. I personally use the Godox V860. We'll link all of our gear, flash photography gear, for you below. But this is one of my favorite lenses. It's better than the newer one, which I would recommend if you're just getting started, but the Godox has a little bit more manual capabilities, which I personally love to have control over how my flash is going to operate. So when you are seeing really dramatic dance floor photos or those more film disposable camera vibes of flash, you're seeing a flash pointed straight ahead at the subject. This creates more of an intense look that can be a little bit more contrasty and fun. However, if you're wanting to shoot flash in a more natural way and use on-camera flash, you have a couple of options. One, you are going to go back to the three things that affect light and artificial light. That is camera settings, flash intensity, and distance from subject. If you're closer to your subject, you're going to want to maybe have a higher ISO or lower aperture and a lower setting on your flash so it's not as intense. This is going to allow more natural light and just kind of raise the overall light of the image. If you're further away, you're obviously going to have to raise the flash intensity to combat that. However, that's kind of what you're going to adjust and make sure that it has time to spread out as much as possible. If you don't want to deal with that direct flash look, you have two options. One is to just turn your flash upward or to the side if you have a white wall or something that you can bounce light off. This is going to work almost similar to how a window would, or any sort of natural light source, where it's getting to bounce off, and because it's bouncing, it gets to spread and look more natural. Say you're working in a barn or something though, where you don't have white walls, you don't have a white ceiling, you also don't want this direct flash look that can be a little intense. Your flash is going to have this little pull-out card up here. This can work like a slight bounce. And what I like to do is just bend my flash a little bit forward, and it gives the flashlight the ability to just bounce off a little and at least spread a little bit more than it would if it was directly forward or directly up. I am also not against like manually literally using my hands and having to like bend this little card a little to get the light to kind of curve how I want it to. This is how you make flash look natural if you are working with on-camera flash. If you're wanting to use flash and make it look natural, however, I highly recommend working with off-camera flash. It is my favorite thing in the world. And for that, you're just going to need a few extra pieces of gear. On top of your speed light that you already have, you are going to need a remote and receiver. The receiver looks like this, and it's going to go on the bottom of your speed light. You just screw this on and you place it on a tripod wherever you need in order to accomplish the look that you're wanting to. Then you're going to have your remote, and that is going to go here on your hot shoe like the flash would have if you were shooting on camera. And basically what's going to happen is these two things are going to communicate to each other as long as they are on the right station. And again, we have linked all of this gear for you below. It is incredibly affordable. There is no reason for price point to be what keeps you from shooting artificial light. I know when I first got started, flash equipment was so expensive and everyone would send me options that were thousands of dollars, and you can get our complete setup for less than a couple $100s. So these two things are going to communicate to each other so that your flash that's across the room is firing no matter where you move in the room. Once you have those things attached and you're making sure that they're communicating properly, they're triggering when you actually shoot your camera, you are going to set your flash up across the room on the tripod, and you can use a similar technique where you like have the card up or you have it bouncing off something, or you can use a diffuser. And this little guy is my favorite thing in the world. He packs up into a really, really small bag. I can easily stick him in like my purse or my suitcase when I'm doing destination weddings. He's not as big as he looks, I promise. But what this does is the flash comes back through here. You have this beauty dish that attaches right here, and then you have a little screen that I'm not going to put on for now, but it diffuses it as it hits your subject. Because the flash is coming in through the back, it has the ability to bounce off the beauty dish, all throughout this reflective surface and then through the diffuser cover that goes over this. So your light is getting to bounce off and diffuse through so many things before it actually hits your subject. This creates the most beautiful, creamy, natural looking flash photography that you truly would never know is flash photography. And I use this setups in wedding ceremonies, first dances, cake cuttings, studio sessions. This light setup as well as this diffuser has literally changed my career in all of the best ways. If you want to see more of this off-camera flash setup in action, we have a free guide for you below called Let's Get Lit. It's going to walk you through how flash works, all the gear that we suggest buying, as well as show you me shooting a session in studio with the same setup I use on weddings days so that you can see all of this in action. Any questions, leave them below and we will see you next time.